Welcome back to BELatina. I'm Chef James, and today you're in for a treat. But for that, I want to introduce you to somebody who comes from a great family legacy. Matt, thank you for being with us, man.
James, thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate the fact that you're here, and thank you for all the stuff you brought me. I want to learn a little more about vanilla and the company and everything that you guys have been doing for the past 116 years.
Yeah, we're really proud as a family to be able to continue this legacy of producing the world's finest pure vanillas.
It is truly amazing. I have prepared 2 recipes today for
Excellent.
you. I want to share with all the people at home one dessert recipe and one cocktail recipe. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
This is the way I wanted to, in a way, utilize the vanilla. First of all, I'm going to do poached pears. So I chop them up like that, and I'm just going to place them in a very cold pan, just like such. Now, we're going to use, of course, some vanilla. You know, one of the things that I realized when I started using the vanilla was that Nielsen Massey's was very, very powerful.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it was very balanced. So what do you think sets apart Nielsen Massey's vanilla from everything else that we find in the supermarket?
Yeah, so there's really 2 things that set apart our products. The first is the quality of the vanilla beans we buy, the regions that we source from, the relationships we have with the farmers and the communities that we buy from. And then the other big component is our extraction process, how we draw out the flavor from the vanilla beans.
So basically, you're not cutting corners.
Exactly.
But the end result is just fantastic.
Exactly.
For that reason, I want you to pick which vanilla you think will pair well with my pears.
That's like picking my favorite child, right? So, but we're gonna go with the Mexican vanilla.
Okay.
Because it was my dad's favorite, but also Mexican vanilla beans have a very natural spice note to them. So they'll do great at enhancing the spice flavors that you're gonna be using in this dish.
One thing that for me is like therapy is like cutting the bean in half.
Yep.
So we cut it in the middle, and then we sort of like take all those beautiful seeds from the inside of the actual pod. And the fascinating thing is, like, this is to me therapy right there, you know? From the smell, from the aromas, and then we place that in the pan. So from there, I want to complement those aromas and flavors with some other spices like cinnamon, which I think, you know, your pick was very, very much on point because we're going from Mexico to Mexico. And then I want to add some citrus, and this is quite amazing, right? So we'll add those in there. To complement this whole thing, I'm gonna take some white wine, and now I'm gonna take some of my water just to, you know, bring the whole thing together and create like a very nice sauce. This is going to reduce into this magnificent syrup. So we'll add some sugar in there. And this is a process that's gonna happen low and slow. And just for the consistency of the actual liquid, I'm gonna add some superfine sugar or caster sugar.
Yep.
You know? And we'll just give that a little mix like that. We'll make sure everything's perfectly integrated, and you'll have one of the best desserts ever. We're gonna crank the heat. So we'll bring that to a boil, and then we'll, you know, bring it down to a simmer. We'll let it cook for 20 minutes. They're gonna be nice and tender. They're still gonna have a little bit of resistance, and then we can take them off and really nicely reduce the juices and all the liquids so we can get that beautiful syrup.
Yeah.
Serving this is very simple. I like to cut them like such and sort of like start placing them in a plate, you know, almost like a star.
Yeah.
Maybe overlapping. Place it like that. I have some ice cream that I'm going to get out of my freezer. So we'll take some of that ice cream and we'll shape it almost like into a football. Place it over the top like that. And then just to finish things off, I'm gonna take that syrup that would typically turn into this.
Yeah.
And just grab some of that sauce and pour it over.
Oh, beautiful.
Like that. Looks amazing. I'll take some of the cinnamon sticks just because they look so beautiful, and, you know, use them as part of my decoration. Finish off the whole thing like that. And we have, like, it's almost like a fine dining experience,
right?
But it was so easy to make. What do you think?
That looks beautiful.
Amazing,
It looks amazing, and it smells even more wonderful.
Incredible, and it's light, it's beautiful. So So of course I want you to try it. I have a spoon for you.
Excellent.
So you can give that a try and tell me what you think. Your honest opinion. What do you think?
It's such a natural complement to everything, right? And it's so good, and as you said, so simple, but so delicious and full of flavor, and you can present it in an amazing way.
Yeah, that's it. Now, I want to really jump into something that we can pair with, you know, this beautiful dessert.
Okay.
And I know that you're a big fan of old fashions, the same way I am. How about we make a beautiful, delicious, and refreshing old fashioned with a vanilla touch?
Perfect.
So for this, I'm going to use the paste.
Okay. The vanilla paste compared to the vanilla extract, most people think about using vanilla in baking, right? And certainly that's probably the #1 use for it. But even in savory recipes, using it in yogurts and granolas and things like that, and you know, even coffees, you can use it as a vanilla syrup in a coffee, right?
Makes all the sense. Yeah, definitely. I love the idea. I want to do this old-fashioned. I know you're a fan. I'm a fan. And for that, I'm going to use the paste. And we're going to go with just, you know, a tiny touch of that paste. And I'm going to use a spoon to add a good amount of ice in there. There we go. And I think old-fashions are good all year long.
Oh, yeah,
right?
definitely.
You agree? So we're going to take 3 parts of bourbon. And you can use any bourbon you want. 2 and 3. If you know what I mean.
I love the extra. Yes, exactly.
You know, I mean, we have to give this cocktail some love, and there's a lot of people here, and you know, we have to share. So another trick I like to add is a little bit of the maraschino cherry juice, and it's gonna give us a very nice color. Some maple syrup.
Okay.
Tiny touch of maple syrup, and now we're just going to give that a mix and make sure we take all that vanilla from the bottom, you know? I like it stirred and not shaken. We want the original, you know, way with some twists.
Yep.
So I added some Angostura bitters, right, to give it a little more complexity. And now we're just going to serve it like that. You know, look at the color.
Beautiful.
And as I was saying, it's like a different twist on, you know, a very nice, refreshing cocktail. And then to finish it off, I'm gonna take my knife and just take some of that lemon peel and sort of like squeeze it over the rim, go around,
Wonderful.
place it there. I'm gonna do another one just so we make sure they're both balanced and we can give that a try. And you'll be enjoying a very nice cocktail. How does that look?
Beautiful.
that.
Absolutely beautiful.
So cheers to a great way to, you know, end up a tough day and transform it into a beautiful day with a touch of vanilla.
Excellent. Thank you.
Cheers to that.
I could smell the Nielsen Massey vanilla all the way from my dressing room. Oh, you got this for me. Well, hello there. Thank you so much for thinking of me.
I was just thinking of you.
I could see
I just
that.
wanted to taste it
You
before I
just
gave
made
it to you.
for me. Of course,
You know?
of course.
Quality control.
Exactly.
I want you to know I did a little bit of research on this vanilla, and vanilla has wonderful, amazing qualities. #1, did you know that it actually aids in toothaches, anti-inflammatory effects for cooking? Not that I cook, you know, I don't know if you know this, Matt, but I'm not that much of a chef.
Okay.
Talking about that, I wanted to really put you to the test of the vanillas. So I've made 2 batches of cupcakes. One of them I used Mexican vanilla, and the other one I used Tahitian vanilla. I want you to try both, and you know, see in this experiment if you can really taste certain things from one, and you know, certain other things from the other.
Okay.
And maybe you can decide which one is which, and see if you were right or wrong. So, what is the main difference between the regions behind each vanilla?
Sure. So you said that you use the Mexican and the Tahitian in these, right? So
Yep.
the Mexican, like we talked about with this poached pear recipe, has a natural spice note to it. So it's really good at enhancing spice flavors, like the cinnamon, nutmeg, allspice,
Brings
those
them back.
warm spices, right? And then the Tahitian vanilla is actually that's beautiful.
Thank
know,
you.
The
look at
Tahitian
that.
vanilla is very unique. It's very fruity and very floral, so much different than what people consider to be like traditional vanilla profile. The traditional vanilla profile would probably be the Madagascar vanilla. It's very deep in flavor, very smooth and creamy. So really, like, you know, if you think about a traditional vanilla ice cream, that's that Madagascar profile.
Okay, so I made not only the cupcakes with different vanillas, but I made the frostings with that same vanilla that I use for the actual cupcake.
Okay.
And I want you, and I just decorated
So I
them
have to
for
put
you.
my cup down?
Yeah, you
That's
can
it?
put your cup down or give it to me. So while you give it a try, I want you to taste them, and based on what Matt had to say about the vanillas, I want you to tell me which one you think is the Mexican one and which one
And of
you
course,
think
you
is from...
poured so much frosting, so of course I'm gonna get all dirty, but I will sacrifice myself.
You got some in your nose.
That was amazing.
Okay.
So based on the descriptions I gave, which one do you think is which between the Mexican and the Tahitian?
Mexican,
Okay.
Tahitian.
James?
She's right.
Oh, very good.
Guys, come on. Let's give a round of applause to Karen.
I officially became a Nielsen Massey vanilla fan.
Well, thank you.
That is for sure.
Often all it takes is a little taste of the product and people just keep coming back. So James, Karen, thanks so much for having us here today. This was a great experience and I appreciate it. And for even more recipes, people can go to our website, nielsenmassey.com. You can find recipes on there, as well as we have a store search function to find a retailer in your area.
For the breakdown of the recipes we made today here at BELatina, you can go to BELatina.com or you can scan the QR code on your screen so you can make these at home.
So guys, stick around because I'm gonna be talking with Latina powerhouse Paola Guanche. And she'll be hitting the BELatina stage for an amazing performance.
Yeah, she's truly incredible. You can't miss it. We'll be back with more
Stick
here
around.
at BELatina.